everybody. Welcome to today's Naked Truth. Sorry that we get started a couple minutes late. I had a morning today and I am so tired. So I hope that my energy is okay for this Naked Truth video and this Naked Truth stream. Thank you to everybody who's here. I saw people jumping in early 4 hours ago. Cyclops TB donated $20 through Super Chat and said, I want to do this because I'm seeing Gemini Man this afternoon. Thank you so much, Cyclops, and I hope that you are currently enjoying Gemini Man. I recently got a chance to go to the movies and see the Joker movie, which I thought about doing today's Naked Truth on, just a Joker movie discussion, but last week everyone had said, we've had a couple serious topics in a row, and the Joker movie tends to get people very serious, even though it's a kind of comic book movie. Again, another topic for another time. But I thought, let's do something fun for this episode. And a couple people in the Naked Truth Discord had suggested a bunch of topic ideas. Thank you so much. And one of the ones that I was like, yeah, let's do that is Halloween stuff. Hey, Aditya. Hey, Catnip Ninja. Chris Lucier is here. God of Knockers is here. Victoria Rogers is here. Christopher Mitchell is here. Hi, everybody. Christian Polson is here, moderating like a champ. Thank you so much. So today, we are going to talk about Halloween costumes. And I looked back through the Naked Truth library 2 years ago. I can't even believe it's been that long. 2 years ago, we did a best Halloween costumes Naked Truth. So I was like, all right, well, I don't want to redo that. Let's do things not to do for your Halloween costume. So I believe I titled this Halloween Costume No-Nos because don't do these and your life will be a lot easier. And some of these are a mix of things that I found out the hard way from doing Halloween costumes that I thought were going to be awesome. Then it turned out not so awesome. You'll see why. And some of these are funny things I found on the internet. So we're going to do something a little different for this Naked Truth. Here, this way? Yes, I might pop some pictures up here when I'm talking about certain costumes, which could be really fun and funny. So thank you all for being here and for joining in on the discussion. You rock my socks. I know it's been a little bit since I did a Naked Truth, so it's nice to see all of the familiar faces in there. And for those of you who are diehard Naked Truth community members, if you want to chat with each other in between Naked Truths, since I know sometimes I can be inconsistent on this YouTube channel, please go ahead and join our Discord, which should be linked in the description of this video, and then you can talk about it in between. Okay. So I've got chat nice and big so I can see it because I don't have my glasses on. Hi, Boom12. Good to see you too. And let's get into some Halloween costume no-nos. So one of the things that I learned from doing this to many Halloween parties, I always get too excited for Halloween. I love it and I think of it like cosplay. So sometimes I'll go all out on my Halloween costume. But one thing that can be really bad at Halloween parties is wearing a full face mask, particularly one that it's very hard to see through. Do you guys remember when those masks were really popular where like you'd put a phone in it and then there was like a Cyclops mask and you could put a phone in it of like a Cyclops eye that was blinking. Nate did that one year and he couldn't really see with it on, so that was tough. And he couldn't eat. So when you go to a Halloween party and people have like cool finger foods and fun drinks and you can't access your mouth, that makes for a not great time. So then you end up wearing the mask like up on your head the whole time and no one knows what you are. And when people are like, oh, what are you dressed as? You have to like do the whole thing and it ends up being a big pain in the arse all night. So that is one of my big don't do that. Let's see. What's in the boxes, says Cami Ye. Yeah, back here. My room is still very messy. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, I had a 6.5 hour cleaning my office day and it looks a lot better than it was, but it is still not fully done. So there are still boxes left over from that. I'm getting there. Victoria Rogers says, laughing my ass off. Poor Nate. Yeah, I know, right? And that could get annoying when you have to talk to someone or relax with a drink, says Steven Summers. Totally. And Daniel Casabon brings up a good point. You can't breathe in those things. So that's a big one. Another one that just makes parties a lot more rough is carrying a prop around all night. So again, with cosplay, here, let me see if I can show you guys. It should be right over here. You can see I have my Ray staff back there and my Master Sword, and over here is my Keyblade. I love props. And but carrying props that are particularly heavy or cumbersome or awkward and take up a lot of space are really a pain in the butt at a Halloween party. Same thing goes for wings. If you have wings that are like really cool and you pull them and they have a big wingspan, pain in the butt at a party. So I would say depends what you're going out for. And especially if you have a prop that makes your costume awesome, but without your prop, people don't know what you are, then you can't even set your prop down all night or else everybody's just confused. So don't do that either. Another Halloween costume no-no that I would suggest is if you have a Halloween costume that could be revealing, or maybe you bought it from a store and it's not made very well and you're a little concerned that like a part doesn't fit right or might fall off, always wear undergarments. I'm not saying this one out of personal experience, but this is just kind of a rule of mine. Anytime I'm on camera on a live stream or anytime that I go cosplay at a convention, we all hear about like creepy people that do upskirts and all that kind of stuff. I always wear either a nude pair of shorts or a black pair of shorts that are like skin tight underneath whatever I'm wearing. And I know that it can be like funny to do those costumes where people are like either super revealing, or have you seen those costumes that are like a flasher? You don't want any accidents to happen. But also I would say Halloween costume no. Don't do the flasher costumes. We live in an age where people, I think, are a lot more aware. And, I mean, someone who goes around outside, like, in public flashing people, that's illegal. And it's also sexual harassment. So let's not maybe make that a fun Halloween costume. Just saying. So I would say no to that. D20 Dave says, the key with props is being able to strap them to something comfortably. Lightsaber, belt clip, etc. Yes, as long as they don't stick out too far that they're going to, like, hit people the whole time you're at the party. Daniel Casabon says, plus, if the weather's cold, skimpy outfits are a definite no-no. Yes, totally depends where you live and if you're like trick-or-treating versus partying in an indoor space, etc. Hi, Pierre Kelly. Good to see you. Another Halloween costume no-no is if your costume is so obscure that it takes a long time to explain. Because you may know what it is, and you're like, it is obviously this Thor Care Bears crossover, duh. And I mean, even that you can explain fairly quickly. If it takes too long to explain, not super fun. Another one that I've learned from personal experience, but before we get to that, there's a super chat. Chris Van Dusen, thank you for the $10 super chat, and said, what is the strangest Halloween costume you have ever seen? I saw a guy once dressed as Pamela Anderson's character from Baywatch. That was interesting. Yeah, cross-dressing costumes that can come off as transphobic, I would say, are no-no. Any kind of cross-dressing costumes where you're really embracing it, you can kind of tell by the attitude of the costume what it's meant to be. But the strangest one I've ever seen, we'll get to in a second when I'm showing costumes over here, but there's some pretty funny ones. I think the sexy Monopoly board was maybe the weirdest one I've ever seen. Like, I get taking a generic thing and making it sexy because people do that at Halloween, but sexy Monopoly board was a weird call for me. Okay, taking it back. The thing that I learned firsthand through my Gamora cosplay is that wearing full body paint makes touching anything very difficult. So as much as I really enjoyed our family cosplay, where Logan was Baby Groot, I was Gamora, and my husband was Star-Lord, because I was painted all green, and all day trying to deal with a 6-month-old infant, every time I touched him and everything he was wearing was covered in green paint, even though I didn't paint this side of my hands. And at the time, I was also breastfeeding, which made it like way harder. Our joke was that he was just going to be covered in green paint by the end of the day. But even if you're not dealing with an infant or trying to breastfeed an infant, green paint comes off on everything. And if you're wearing it for more than an hour and it wasn't applied by a professional, and sometimes even if it was, like areas that crack, like your armpit and stuff, are going to be all wonky looking. They're not ideal. Great for photo shoots. Not super awesome for wearing all day. Boom12 says, last year for Halloween, I went cheap. I dressed as Psy, mostly due to people comparing how I really look like him. LOL. Cool, man. It's always great to take things that are memed on the internet and turn them into a costume. I love that. Michael King says, sexy Monopoly. What? I know, right? Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Stephen Summer says, did the body paint make your skin feel weird? Did it come off easily? It actually didn't feel weird when it was on, but it did not come off easily. It took me being in the shower scrubbing with alcohol and alcohol pads for like an hour and a half, and I still had kind of a green tinge for the next couple days. It was not the most awesome, I will say. Yeah, we brought this up earlier, but make sure that you stay warm in your costume, or that it's not a bundle up costume if you're going to be at a hot party all night. And I don't mean hot party like full of sexy people. I mean hot party like it's hot inside. Another one that I've actually found this one online and I thought it was really funny. They said a Halloween no-no was wearing one half of a couple's costume after a breakup, like without the other half. Some of these you could get away with, like Mario and Luigi, you could get away with just being Mario or just being Luigi. But if it's like a couple's costume like peanut butter and jelly and you're just the peanut butter half, and everyone's like, where's your jelly? You're going to have to deal with that all night. And that does not sound fun to me. I don't know about you, but it doesn't sound like me. Christopher Lucen brings up a very good point. What about dressing up as a character who's a different skin color but not wearing the makeup to avoid blank face, fill in the blank? I have been so very careful and opposite end of the spectrum since people who've been following me from SourceFed. I made a big boo-boo one year on a tabletop because we were told last minute that we needed to have a Halloween costume for a Halloween episode of Tabletop that we were filming like 2 weeks early. So it was 2 weeks early, so I didn't have a Halloween costume yet. And I went to the store and I bought something off the sale rack and I wore it in the episode, not knowing. And it was a Native American princess costume or something like that. But it wasn't specifically Tiger Lily. It wasn't specifically Pocahontas. It was just generic Native American woman. And that was the year that cultural appropriation was really becoming more common knowledge and people knew what it was. And I was an idiot and hadn't read that or known about that. So I wore it in the table talk. And of course, as soon as that episode went up, people started tweeting me right away. The comments were crazy and I had no idea what was going on. And so I took the opportunity to educate myself and learn maybe why that wasn't a great idea, which I did. And but ever since that moment, I apologized and everything for those of you that weren't there during that time period. And I really did appreciate the people who stepped up to say, hey, I know you didn't mean to be offensive, but like, this is why that was offensive. Like, I appreciated those with people way more than the people that were like, but you're being a horrible person, blah, 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 blah. I appreciated the people that took the moment to educate me. And I did genuinely learn from it. But since that time, I am so sensitive to cultural appropriation issues and I just stay super far away. Like Logan right now is obsessed with Moana. And one of his little girlfriends from swim class also really likes Moana. And we were talking about outfits for them to go trick-or-treating as. And we were like, what about Moana and Maui? And I was like, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because he's obviously a white kid and Maui is not. And I don't want to worry about it. So I feel like it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to that kind of stuff. Let's see, another Halloween costume no-no, which is a good one because we can learn about this ahead of time because this video is ahead of time. Don't procrastinate on buying your Halloween costume because that's how I ended up in the situation of the story that I just told, was last minute and not having a chance to think about it. So it is currently October 12th. You have more than 2 weeks to figure it out. So put your mind to it and get something that you're really excited about. Here's another good one that I found online at one point. It said, know your Halloween audience. So again, make sure that if you're putting humor into your costume, you're putting humor in that's appropriate for said crowd. Let's see. Are there any other ones that I marked down here? No. This is all good. Okay, so now I want to actually show you guys some Halloween costume no-nos. Some of them are in relation to what we were just talking about. So here we go. I'll get this one for you guys. So this is actually the picture that was used in this specific article as offensive Halloween costumes. Here, I'll move over. Right over here. So it is a Maui, which is what I was talking about. And the other one is supposed to be a Holocaust victim. Don't do that. Not appropriate. Not appropriate. Not appropriate in general to laugh at other people's pain. So however you interpret that, not appropriate for Halloween. Sheet Ghosts are a safe bet, says Aditya Aniel, unless people think it's KKK. I mean, that's a very specific head, but so that's These are ones that we do not recommend. This one I thought was hilarious. I don't know if you guys can see it, if it's big enough. It was a small picture, but it's essentially a sexy remote control. And the power and mute buttons are on the boobies, and the back is a battery. Yeah, those are crazy, right? This one I thought was hilarious. This is sexy Elmo. And I mean, I guess you could go even further with the like tickle me Elmo thing. But overall, don't recommend. Moving on. Other funny ones that I found in preparation for this Naked Truth. Sexy Bambi. Sexy Bambi is not where my mind would have gone initially. I love the chat right now is like, who would do that? Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, just weird. I don't know who. No, not sexy Elmo. No. Yep. And then right over here we have what is this officially called? Crying baby face mask. This has been around a while for the internet, and it's so creepy. Like, why would you do that? Again, this is a mask that has no mouth hole, so you can't eat or drink through it. You can probably barely see through those eyes, and nobody wants to see that at a Halloween party. Nobody wants to see creepy baby. Don't do it. You guys are hilarious. Okay, let me see if I can find any other funny ones. Yeah, this one, Holocaust victim. Don't do it. Real bad. Real bad. Anything involving blank face, whatever face it is that you're subbing in there, don't do it. Here's what I was talking about that are kind of like transphobic. The transphobic idea for costumes where it's like, he's just being a lady. And you're like, look at the guy being a lady. Isn't that hilarious? Now, if you're being a specific lady, go for, like, if you want to be Captain Marvel or whatever, go for it. Rock it. These are weird. The piggybacks are like really in this year, I guess, but this is calling it body shaming and objectifying. And I'm actually going to turn this off just for a second because I don't want it to get into territory of things I'm not allowed to show on here. But other ones that site lists are don't go dressed as a terrorist. Not funny. Don't laugh at other people's pain. Again, that goes back to that rule. Zombie versions of recently deceased celebrities. That kind of falls under the don't laugh at other people's pain thing. Don't go as like animal cruelty things or things people are struggling with, like eating disorders. And yeah, like flashers and like sexual harassment kind of things. It's like sexual harassment isn't really funny. Oh, this is a really bad one. Can I I need to open this in a new tab and show you guys this one. Here we go. Ready? I'm going to bring it back up for you. This is people dressed as Halloween as a natural disaster. You can see they are the Twin Towers. And to that I would say 100% distasteful. Don't laugh at other people's pain, and a lot of people have had pain. So those are my Halloween costume no-nos. So my question to you guys for this kind of more ridiculous Naked Truth is, what are some of your Halloween costume no-nos, either from personal experience or things you've seen or things you've seen in person or online? Let me know what your personal Halloween no-nos are. And there's a bunch of them. If you're going to do something that's a little revealing near any private parts, I recommend using body tape. They sell it like everywhere, and you can just tape things to your skin so that you're not going to have an accidental whoopsie. Jeff Dumas says, I'm going to go as my dating life and stay home. Womp womp. And I do mean, if Halloween's not your thing, Halloween's not your thing, and don't feel pressured to go out. But if you do want to go out, I recommend it. It's good at least. Let's see. Michael King says the only natural disasters you should dress as are the wrestlers, earthquake, and typhoon. Oh, wrestling! Oh, I used to be really into wrestling. Aditya Neal says, Trisha, could you maybe do a rant on how having Thor in Endgame as a person suffering from an eating disorder as a result of mental trauma/depression? That's another Naked Truth for another time. But thank you for suggesting that. That's actually a really good Naked Truth topic. And maybe we'll get into that at some point in the future. Put that in the Discord so I don't forget it, if you don't mind. Okay, Catnip Ninja, thanks for stopping in. Good to see you today. Stephen Summers says, one year I went as Santa Claus and my brother went as a Christmas present. He couldn't move his arms or bend over. And I would also say for Santa Claus, if you have like that big beard mustache, that was probably awful to try to eat or drink around. That doesn't sound fun either. Boom12 says, my big no-no, be sure to never be over ambitious. Yeah, if you plan too big and then you aren't able to actually follow through and then you don't have a Halloween costume at all, or your Halloween costume is like so not done that people can't even tell what you are, that doesn't work. That's no good. Chris says, I dressed as Sorcerer Mickey a couple times. I had to take my robe off because the college library was too hot. Yep, dress for your weather, just dress for your environment for sure. Jeff Dumas says, just kidding. I have one of those cheap hot dog costumes ready to go. Hey, dinosaur onesies, cheap hot dog costumes, always good. The last couple years I have really wussed out because as much as I love the idea of doing a family costume, in my experience with Logan, at least with my child, it works better when he's the only one in costume we have to deal with, and I do something like a shirt that has a superhero front on it with a cape on the shirt or something very easy. Because if I'm in costume, it's a lot harder for me to attend to him if he needs me. And same thing for Nate. Plus, we don't have the time to get us ready when we're getting him ready. So maybe we're going too ambitious, but last year we put him in a really cute Batman costume. He was in a full Batman costume. And I wore a Batwoman shirt with a cape and jeans, and Nate wore a Robin shirt with a cape and jeans. And so we, kind of matched him. But if you just looked at like our Halloween costumes, we looked like we didn't even try. But that's where we were that year. And this year, I think it's going to be the same thing. I have a couple costumes bought for Logan, and we're trying to figure out what we can do that go along with what he's doing. But I don't think we're going to go full out. Plus, the only Halloween party Nate and I were invited to this year, we can't get a babysitter. So I guess we're not going. So we don't really have an occasion to dress up besides taking him trick-or-treating, and then we should probably just match him. That's a good one. Halloween no-no from Daniel Casabon. Don't do anything with fake guns. That's a great idea. Or anything that could be perceived as threatening in any way. Like that year that the clown thing was going on. That was super weird. Stephen Summers says, don't get upset if people don't know your costume. That's a great one. Let's see. Michael King says, my best was likely Robin Hood as a first grader. Yep. Stephen Summers says, Logan will probably like it as he gets older. I would like to think so, considering 2 years ago for Comic-Con, I built him the coolest old man Logan cosplay, and he was 18 months, and I was like, oh man, we're going to win Comic-Con. He is going to be the cutest baby old man Logan. It's going to be awesome. And then he refused to wear it. Anytime I put on his little adamantium claws, which I had made out of felt, he took them off. He didn't want them anywhere near his hands. Anytime I tried to use hair gel to like gel his hair up like this, he just messed it up right away. And I was like, now you're just a baby in a tank top and jeans. And like I tried to like put little stubble on his face, and I gave him a passy that had a cigar stuck on the end. I'm telling you, this was going to be awesome, and I was super stoked. He was not down for the entire thing. All of my plans went out the window. So I'm going to wait till he is a little bit more of a team player, and then we're going to try again when he gets a little older. Stephen Summers says space guns might be okay because they're obviously fake. Yeah, I'm with you though. Don't do anything that might make people feel afraid or intimidated. Cyclops says, Trisha, you should do a Naked Truth on avoiding new games after negative reviews. I don't really understand what you mean by that. Get in the Discord and let me know. But thank you again, Cyclops, for the super chat if you weren't here at the very beginning when I said that. Albarax says, don't worry about body types. Just wear whatever you want to wear. Screw the haters. I'm down with that too. Part of the reason I never did Jessica Rabbit earlier in my cosplay career is because she's really tall. And she's tall and Roger's short, and that's what makes them the right size for each other. And I was like, I'm really short. I guess Jessica can't do her. But I should just do it, right? I should just do it at some point. I'm too much of a perfectionist to do Jessica Rabbit because I'm like, it needs to be totally strapless and totally backless, like all the way down. And anyone that's done a cosplay of it, no matter how good it looks from the front, it's either right from the front and the back's too high, or it's right from the back and the front has straps. But because of physics, that's kind of the way it has to be. But I'm like, no, it must be perfect if I'm going to do it, which is why I haven't really done it. I actually had one built one year. I paid a whole lot of money for it, and it did not work. I couldn't even wear it in public. It was bad. Let's see. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Steven Summers, said you could go as the main character from Control. Seems like an easy costume. Yeah, I would just need a red wig, and I'd have to, like, do makeup to make my jaw a little more angular. Jesse's jaw is a little more angular. But you're right, that would be fun, and I am definitely eating, sleeping, and breathing Control right now as far as video games go. Jeremy Coleman says, don't wear costumes that support political issues. That is a great point, because, again, that goes back to the, like, know your audience. If you know you're going to a party where everyone is of one mindset, that could be okay. But still, chances are there's going to be one person there that takes that as the opportunity to make the Halloween party all about debating you on politics, which nobody wants to ruin their Halloween fun with that. I thought about doing today's Naked Truth on the art of compromise and how important it is for all of us to, even though we have opposing viewpoints, try to come together somewhere in the middle. But we decided today was not going to be a serious topic, Naked Truth. It was going to be a fun one. So, Halloween costumes. Huzzah! Steven Summers says also comfy shoes. So, yes, Halloween costume, no. Don't wear uncomfortable shoes. You will be miserable. Or don't go barefoot if you're going to be in a crowded spot or walking outdoors. Also really good. Yes, that often gets overlooked, says Edith Daniel, and I agree. So anyway, thank you guys so much for your Halloween no-nos. This has been a super fun Naked Truth, and I'm sorry I got started just a few minutes late, but thank you to everyone who was here. Thank you for everyone who gave a donation to support this. You're amazing. Even before I went live today, I got the your video is eligible for limited monetization. So before it went live, they were like, this is probably not okay. I call it the Naked Truth. I get it. It's my fault. It's fine. But anyway, thank you to everyone who's here. If you are on Twitch at all and you want to check out my Twitch channel, tomorrow morning I will be streaming to twitch.tv/Trisha Hershberger. Or actually, just kidding. I won't be streaming to Twitch tomorrow morning. Normally I do on Sunday mornings. Go over there and follow me anyway so you know when I am streaming. But I won't be streaming tomorrow morning because I'll be moderating the Women of Sci-Fi and Horror panel at Los Angeles Comic-Con. So if you will be at Los Angeles Comic-Con, please make sure that you come and say hi. The panel's at 11:30 a.m. and there's a half-hour meet and greet afterwards. So that's where you can find me tomorrow morning. If I can, maybe I will stream tomorrow night to make up for missing the Sunday stream. But we did a surprise Twitch stream yesterday to make up for me not streaming Sunday morning. And also because I need to finish Control. That game is so good. So yeah, thank you guys. I hope you find wonderful costumes that you're excited about for Halloween. And if you do, please go ahead and message them to me so that we can all share our lovely ideas, or leave them in the chat. Leave them in the comments, right? Do that. All right. Thank you guys. I will see you on the Discord in between now and the other stuff we do. And I appreciate you. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.